Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Hammond collection review. Today we're taking a look at the Jurassic Park Metriacanthosaurus. Man, the Hammond collection is hitting hard and fast right now. Like I said in the Cryptosaurus review, I feel like I just finished the last round of the Hammond collection figures. Now we have a whole slew of new figures that are available right now. Next of which is this awesome looking Metriacanthosaurus. Now I end up getting mine from Big Bad Toy Store. They were in stock, and now I think they're back up for pre-order, but it seems like these things are shipping out pretty quickly, so I'll leave a link down below in the description to Big Bad Toy Store and also Amazon for their pre-order if you haven't secured it yet. So let's go over the package really quick before we crack open this really anticipated figure. I like how Mattel is giving us different species right now in this fully articulated format. We got the Hammond Collection logo down here, Jurassic Park 30th anniversary logo front and center, T-Rex silhouette, Metriacanthosaurus. And spinning around, we have a nice photo of the Metriacanthosaurus with the Jurassic Park logo, even though it did not technically appear in the film. We'll get to that in a few seconds. There's a nice product shot of it. And right here we have, after shutting down Jurassic Park's security system, Dennis Nedry makes his way to the cold storage room and secretly steals the embryos of the Metriacanthosaurus as well as other dinosaur species. So yeah, it's a blink and you miss it moment in the first Jurassic Park film. You clearly see Dennis taking a Metriacanthosaurus embryo with some other misspelled dinosaur species names. So yeah, the Metriacanthosaurus has yet to make a live action appearance in any of the films, but it has had a prominent role in the video games over the years. So enough of the quick history lesson on this species. Let's crack this thing open and take a closer look. And here's the Metriacanthosaurus of the package, and another very impressive Hammond collection release. I just really like how they're doing these more obscure dinosaur species in this collector's line. And I was really anticipating this Metriacanthosaurus, and it did not let me down. The coloration, it's not as a complex paint job as seen on the Corythosaurus, but the main body is almost this like creamy peach color, and you just have a lot of dark brown markings and a little bit of yellow on the crest on the head and just a little bit of brown. I think the whole color scheme works for this. It would have been nice if they did this in like a Jurassic World Evolution color scheme with that nice striping pattern, but you know what? I'm not minding this original paint apps on this figure. But yeah, pretty cool they gave us Metriacanthosaurus. Like I said, it was only mentioned in the first Jurassic Park film. I'm sure there's probably somewhere else in the films it was mentioned, and someone's going to correct me in the comments. But yeah, it's cool that they gave us this really obscure species. And it's just all around, it's just a really nice figure. I like the more proportionate teeth that they're giving their theropod dinosaurs. So the big, goofy, oversized one makes them look a little bit more accurate in my eyes. Now, for some measurements, this figure is 12.5 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, or 30.75 centimeters. And about 5.5 inches tall to the top of the head, or just under 14 centimeters. So Metriacanthosaurus was just over 26 feet long in real life, or around 8 meters. So I'll put this figure in the 125 scale range. And now let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with the head. Yeah, it's a very shrink-wrapped head. You can see the inorbital fenestra orbits and all the other fun fenestras all over this figure. But hey, it's Jurassic. They're known for shrink-wrapping their figures, but a pretty nice head sculpt. Like I said earlier, absolutely love the nice proportionate teeth that they gave this. They are cast in white plastic. They are not painted on, so you have to worry about sloppy paint or the paint wearing off on these. You got this nice light brown for the end of the snout. The whole rest of the head is cast in this chocolate brown coloration. There's some of that light brown underneath the orbit and a little splash of yellow for the crest above the eyes. With this nice transition of dark brown that goes into a nice cream coat at the back of the jaw. Nice scale details all over the place. Large scales lining the lips and opening up the mouth. You can see some nice glossy plastic. My camera hates when I zoom in like this for the gums and the tongue. Nice textured tongue, and then going down to the rest of the figure along the neck, you got more of that chocolate brown color, some of that nice cream coat markings coming through. Not a super elaborate paint job, but you know what? All the right spots in this figure are painted, so it looks complete. Doesn't look like it's half-assed like some of other Mattel's releases. A nice cream coat for the underside of the body. It ends just around where the hip bones are, and then going down to the arms. The hand claws are painted in. Hooray for painted hand claws. You have little bits of brown plastic mixed in to add some definition to it, not totally overdone like it is on some figures. And then going down the rest of the body, so nice finely textured scales all over the place with that nice chocolate brown striping going all the way through, some nice striping along the thighs, and then going down to the legs, you got some glossy black paint or dark brown paint for the toe claws, and some nice details on the bottom of the feet. Here's a view of it from the top. You can see really nice color scheme on here, and look at this, they painted the tail all the way to the very end. You don't see that too often. You get some large osteoderm pepper throughout, while for all that scale detail on the tail. So all around a very, very nice looking figure. I'm quite impressed with it. And now for articulation, mouth can close completely flush. The teeth on the upper jaw do hang over for that lipless look. Mouth can open up in 2 stages. There's a joint up here to make the top of the head rise up, so you get a pretty wide roar out of it. This joint right here, you get some nice side to side movement up and down, and then for the second neck joint, downwards and upwards movement. And let's look at all those joints work in tandem from the front, so you do get some nice side to side movement with those 2 joints. Going down to the arms are unhinged, they can swing out and they can move forwards and backwards. Elbow joint about 90 degrees, you can get it straight out. Yet again, no wrist articulation. The Concavinator has it. No excuse anymore, Mattel, why other figures in the line don't have wrist articulation. That's just one thing that's really irking me about the Hammond collection. They just need to go that one extra step, and it'll make these figures a lot better. Going down to the hind legs, they can move backwards and forwards, and you do get that nice little hip pivot to help with stability. You get some nice bend at the knee and some rotation at that knee joint. For the ankle, these are really, really tight on mine, and tight's good because I like to pull off one-legged poses with these. We get some nice movement on the ankle joint. You get a nice rocker joint for the feet, and upwards and downwards movement for the tail. Tail can go, let's get the camera focused back in on that, up, down, side to side, and it is made out of a bendable rubber material with a wire in there for more posability. Very heavy duty rubber material, so you don't have to worry about that wire wearing out on these figures. But yeah, all around, really, really impressed with this dinosaur. Now moving on with comparisons, here it is with the Hammond collection, Robert Muldoon. And next up, here it is with its mainline release of the Metria, and I can't describe enough how much I hated this mold. It took me up until this version, this was like the 3rd version of Metriacanthosaurus, for me to actually pick it up because I just despise it so much. I think it's just such an ugly, ugly looking figure, but man, this Hammond collection one absolutely blows the original one out of the water. And next up, here it is with a nice group shot of some of its Jurassic Park 1 brethren. We got the Triceratops, Velociraptor, Gallimimus, and Dilophosaurus. So yeah, even though it didn't technically appear on film, at least we got a quick mention of it in the first movie. And next up, here it is with its wave mate, the Corythosaurus, which I still think is the best out of this new batch. All 3 of these larger dinosaurs, the Metria, Corythosaurus, and Irritator, I think have all been really, really fantastic. And let's do a couple more Hammond collections. Here it is with the Ankylosaurus, and let's just do one more. Here it is with the Concavinator, which has wrist articulation, like I keep saying, just totally inexcusable now why these larger theropods don't have articulation in their wrist. And lastly, here it is with the Hammond collection, Tyrannosaurus Rex. So final thoughts on the Hammond collection, Metriacanthosaurus. I am so tired of saying that name. It's a really good looking figure. I think it's just a great looking theropod figure all around. Like the nice proportionate looking teeth. The heads might be a tad too big, but all around, I just love the proportions of this figure. And I like how we're getting more obscure species in the Hammond collection. It's making me want to buy figures from the main line less and less, and been really picky and choosy lately what I've been getting from the main line. But yeah, the whole color scheme I think works on here. It's not the most elaborate color scheme, but I just think it works really well on this figure, and it's definitely this whole new crop of figures have been absolutely fantastic. Now, like I said at the beginning of the review, I ended up getting this figure from Big Bad Toy Store, leaving the link down below, and also the link to Amazon if you haven't pre-ordered these figures yet. So that will do it for the review. The only other Hammond collection figure I've left to review is the Irritator. When I get Hammond, Nedry, and the baby Stego and T-Rex, I'll be reviewing those. I just didn't feel like ordering everything all at once from Big Bad Toys. I've been getting hammered with pre-orders lately, so I'm just trying to save some money. So once those come in, I will be reviewing all those. So that will do it. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously. It's greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys for the next one.